Further up the river past Trenton and Marsville, the towns get smaller, but the history grows. First, we make a stop in lovely Yardley, Pennsylvania. You can make friends with the ghost who haunts the Continental Tavern. He prefers draft beer, none of that light nonsense. Cool history note. From the mid-1800s through the Civil War, the building served as a way station on the Underground Railroad. Fire destroyed the property in 1876. The current building was erected in 1877. After a few drinks in the tavern, you can go ice skating on picturesque Lake Afton, but only if it's frozen. Although a charming hamlet, Yardley is vulnerable to flooding as much of the town lies between the river and the Delaware Canal. Speaking of canals, canals run along both the Pennsylvania and New Jersey side of the river. Shallow water at Trenton necessitated the construction of the 60-mile-long Delaware Canal on the Pennsylvania side and Delaware-Raritan Canal in New Jersey, part of a network 66 miles long, with 22 being along the Delaware. But we must continue onward. We are now in the area of Washington's Crossing. December 1776 was a rather unpleasant time for Washington's troop. They hadn't much to celebrate. Supplies and morale were low. However, General Washington planned an unpleasant Christmas present for the Hessian mercenaries camped 9 miles south in Trenton. He reminded his men that the Hessians had good food, great beer, and warm accommodations. Draft beer, none of that light stuff. Where have I heard that before? Anyway, December 25th, they crossed the Delaware, marched the 9 miles, and attacked a Hessian garrison. The Americans managed to capture critical supplies, including food and clothing, in the process, while suffering very few casualties. Emboldened, General Washington recrossed and then crossed the Delaware again into New Jersey over the next week, fighting a delaying action at the Battle of Assunpink and winning another stunning victory at the Battle of Princeton. On a somber side note, during my excursion at Washington Crossing Historical Park, I happened upon a soldier's graveyard memorial. This is where I met Captain James Moore. He was born in August 1750, died in December 1776. He and dozens of his comrades had camped on the Pennsylvania side of the Delaware in preparation for what would be the Battle of Trenton. James and many others died there due to illness and bitter cold. He was 26. One of the older soldiers. Ironically, none of them were American citizens. The United States didn't exist yet. They fought to make it possible. You can visit anytime you like. He's across from the Wildflower Preserve.